Hello and welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, we want to look at the difference between oxidation and reduction. We'll look at how these two differ in terms of the electrons. Now, what's the difference between oxidation and reduction in terms of electrons? Well, by definition, in terms of electrons, we say oxidation is the losing of electrons, while reduction is the gaining of electrons. So how can you remember the two? Well, the easiest is to use these acronyms. For oxidation, you can use IOL, which is oil. Then for reduction, you can use RIG, rig. So what do these acronyms help you to do? So in terms of electrons, oxidation is the losing of electrons, while reduction is the gaining of electrons. We have this example, and we want to use it to identify which one has been oxidized and which one has been reduced. Now, the best thing to do as you identify which one has been oxidized and reduced, you separate the two equations. So we have copper ion, which is becoming copper atom there. Then we have the second one, which is a magnesium. It is becoming a magnesium ion. Now, if you have the two, you'll notice that there is something that we can do to either the product or the reactant in terms of balancing the electrons. When you look at the copper, for the reactant side, the overall charge is positive 2, while this other side, the overall charge is 0. So what do? On the reactant side, we can introduce 2 electrons so as to balance this equation in terms of the overall charge. What of magnesium? For magnesium, we have the overall charge of 0 and the overall charge of positive 2. So here we can introduce 2 electrons to have the overall charge of 0 that side also. Now, what do you notice at this point? You will notice that one of the two reactions is as a result of the gaining of the electrons, and the other one is as a result of the loss or the losing of the electrons. When you look at the one for copper, copper was an ion, then it gained 2 electrons for it to become a neutral element. So what does this mean? Gaining, it is reduction. What of here? We have a neutral atom. Here it is now charged. What does this simply mean? It lost 2 electrons for it to become charged. Now, what is the losing? It is oxidation. So, this is how we identify which one is being oxidized and which one is being reduced. So, when electrons have been gained, there is reduction. When electrons have been lost, there is oxidation. Hope you find this video helpful, and please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is Zuluba Consultants, and the Facebook page for this and more videos.